Good morning students. Today we are going to solve some more numericals to obtain the state model of the system. So the problem given is obtain the state model of the network shown below assuming R1 R2 equal to 1 ohm, C1 C2 equal to 1 farad, L is equal to 1 Henry. Consider V1 as the output. So here we have current source, it is your input. So current source is your input. We have two resistance that should be considered as 1 ohm according to the given problem, and the value of C has to be taken as 1 farad and the value of L has to be taken as 1 Henry. Now we need to identify how many state variables in the given problem. Now when you look at this electrical network given, we have three energy storage elements C1, C2 and L. So we have three state variables, that is X1, X2, X3. If it is an inductor, the state variable is going to be the current. If it is a capacitor, the state variable is going to be your voltage. Now we have put after identifying the state variable. So we have identified the state variable X1, X2, X3. If it is a capacitor, as I told earlier, it is going to be the voltage. So I can consider X1 is equal to VC1, X2 is equal to VC2 and X3. The third state variable is inductor, so I can consider it as IL, that is current through the inductor. What is the current through the inductor according to this? So I'm going to apply for the loop equation. This current source is converted into voltage source. So if I want to convert this current source to voltage source, here we have one parallel resistance. We need to connect a voltage source in series with this R1. Because V is equal to I into R. When you multiply these two factors, you are going to get the potential V. So I will connect one voltage source in series with the resistance R1 and afterwards capacitance, inductor, capacitor and resistor. So after converting this current source to voltage source, the circuit is remodified as shown here. After writing the state variable, always the state variable are represented using first order differential equation. So I can write X1 as X1 dot, X2 as X2 dot, X3 as X3 dot. X1 dot is nothing but dVc1 divided by dt. X2 dot is nothing but dVc2 divided by dt. X3 dot is equal to dIL divided by dt. Since the current flowing through the inductor is I2, I can write it as di2 divided by dt. Now we need to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law for this loop 1, loop 2, loop 3 to identify my X1, X2, X3. So when you apply a Kirchhoff's voltage law to this loop 1, you will get V is equal to, applied voltage V is equal to I1 into R1 and plus VC1. Replace all this physical variable in terms of your state variable. So it is your input. So input is represented with U of t. I1 is your state variable. I1 is your physical parameter. So I1 into R1 plus what is your VC1? VC1 is your physical parameter. So replace it with your state variable, that is X1. So once all this physical variable is replaced with the state variable, you are going to get an equation. You are going to identify what is the current I1 because I1 is the unknown current. So after identifying the current, apply KVL to loop 2. So to this particular loop, you should apply a KVL. So when you apply a KVL, VC1 is equal to L into di2 by dt plus VC2. So when you apply KVL to that loop 2, you will get the input voltage, that is VC1 is equal to, input voltage is equal to output voltage, right? So the sum of input voltage is equal to your output voltage. Here it is going to be your VC1 is equal to L into di1 by dt plus VC2. After writing your equation, replace all your physical variable by state variable. So VC1 is X1, L into what is di2 by dt? It is X3 dot plus X2. So from this we can identify what is our X3 dot. Because our main aim is to identify what is your X1 dot, X2 dot and X3 dot. X3 dot is identified. After identifying, you apply KVL to this particular loop. So when you apply KVL to loop 3, you are going to get VC2 is equal to I3 into R2. Now replace all this quantity, physical quantity with the state variable quantity. After doing, you will get I3 is equal to Vc2 divided by R2, which is equal to X2 by R2. Now what is the voltage across the capacitor? It is Vc1, which is equal to 1 by C1 into integration of I dt. What is the current flowing through this capacitor? I1 minus I2. Therefore, the voltage across the capacitor Vc1 is equal to 1 by C1 integration of I dt. I is nothing but current flowing through C1. That is I1 minus I2. We also know that what is the value of I1 and what is the value of I2. So I2 is nothing but your state variable. So I1 minus I2 is equal to C1 into dVc1 by dt. dVc1 by dt is nothing but your state variable, that is x1 dot. So from this you can identify what is your x1 dot. When you frame the equation x1 dot, x2 dot and x3 dot, completely the equation has to be in terms of only the state variable and input variable. No other constant parameters can be there. So after solving this, you will get x1 dot. Similarly, you can identify what is the voltage across C2. What is the voltage across C2? Vc2, which is equal to 1 by C2 integration. What is the current flowing through this path? The I2 current is flowing in this direction, whereas I3 current is opposite to your I2. Therefore, 1 by C2 integration of I2 minus I3 into dt. So when you find the current through the capacitor, voltage across the capacitor C2, we are getting Vc2 is equal to 1 by C2 integration of I dt. This I is nothing but I2 minus I3, and we know what is our I3. So substitute I3 over here, replace all your physical quantity by state variable quantity. You will be getting x2 dot. So now we have identified what is our x1 dot, x2 dot and x3 dot. When you frame your state variable first order differential equation, x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot and so on, your next part of the equation, that is the other side of the equation, should have only your state variable term and input variable term, no other constant. For example, if you see over here, if you are not replacing this I3 over here, you will have I3. I3 is not the state variable, it is a physical quantity. So you have to convert that one to in terms of your state variable. After converting, you will get x2 dot is equal to 1 by C2 x3 minus 1 by R2 into C2 x2. So now we have identified what is our x1 dot, what is our x2 dot, what is our x3 dot. After identifying, you need to identify what is your output equation. In the problem, you check whether they have told anything to be considered as output. So you need to consider V1 as your output. Where is the V1 available? At this point. So V1 is nothing but Vc1. So now Vc1 is going to be my output. Therefore, output y of t is equal to V1, which is equal to Vc1. Replace this Vc1 because Vc1 is a physical quantity. Replace this with a state variable quantity, that is x1. We know that the state equation x dot of t is equal to a x of t plus b u of t. It means that what is the order of the matrix A? How we can identify? How many state variables we have? N, 3 state variables. So this is going to be 3 and here x is also going to be 3. Therefore the order of the matrix A is 3 cross 3. What is the order of the matrix B? U. How many inputs you had? Only one input. So here 1. How many state variable? That is a differential equation. First order differential equation you have 3. So your B matrix has to be 3 cross 1. And x dot of t, in the place of x dot of t, you will be writing it as x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot. So this x1 dot have 3 rows, 3 columns. So the first column, first row will have the coefficient of x1. This particular portion will have the coefficient of x2 in x1 dot, and A13 will have the coefficient of x3 in x1 dot. You take what is x1 dot. So in x1 dot, we have the coefficient of x1 as minus 1 by r1 c1, and the coefficient of x2 as minus 1 by c1, and the coefficient of x3 we are not getting. So here x3 is absent, so in the place of x3 you can put 0. the coefficient of x1 can be written as minus 1 by r1 c1, x2 can be written as minus 1 by c1. It means that this will contain the coefficient of x. Here this part, that is a12 will have the coefficient of x2 in x1 dot, a13 will have the coefficient of x3 in x1 dot. Same thing when you're coming back to the next row, so it will have, that is, it is a21. a21 will have the coefficient of x1 in x2 dot, a22 will have the coefficient of x2 in x2 dot, a23 will have the coefficient of x3 in x2 dot. Same thing for x3 dot. Here you will have a31 will have the coefficient of x1 in x3 dot. It is a32 will have the coefficient of x2 in x3 dot, and the last one a33 will have the coefficient of x3 in x3 dot. You can take the x2 dot. x2 dot has only coefficient for x2 and x3. x1 is absent. So in the place of x1 you can put 0. And what is the coefficient of x2 in x2 dot? The coefficient of x2 in x2 dot is minus 1 divided by r2 into c2. So I have to write it as minus 1 divided by r2 into c2. And this is the coefficient of x3 in x2 dot. What is the coefficient of x3 in x2 dot? It is 1 divided by c2. So we need to write this particular, we have to write the A column matrix. Now coming back to x3 dot. What is the coefficient of x1 in x3 dot? So where you have identified your x3 dot? x3 dot you have identified over here. So here you have only x1 and x2. So x3 is going to be 0. The coefficient of x1 in x3 dot is 1 divided by L. So fill the coefficient of x1 in x3 dot is 1 by L. What is the coefficient of x2 in x3 dot? The coefficient of x2 in x3 dot is minus 1 divided by L. So in this portion you have to write minus 1 by L. This is how you need to write the matrix A. Same thing when you want to write the matrix B. Here you need to write what is the coefficient of u in x1 dot, what is the coefficient of u in x2 dot, what is the coefficient of u in x3 dot. So when you check x1 dot, x2 dot and x3 dot, in x2 dot u is absent. So here it will be equal to 0. Same thing in case of your x1 dot, the coefficient of u is 1 divided by r1 into c1. So you can write 1 divided by r1 into c1. Same thing, the coefficient of u in case of your x3 dot is going to be 0. This is how you need to find, you have to frame the state equation matrix for a given problem. Next is your output equation. Output equation y is equal to cx of t plus du of t. How you will identify the matrix? So C is equal to 3 cross 1 matrix. So here it will contain the coefficient of, you consider your y of t is equal to x1. So it is having only x1 coefficient, rest other coefficient is equal to 0. So I will get y of t is equal to 1, 0, 0, x1, x2, x3. So once you have framed your state equation and output equation, you have to draw your state diagram as explained in the earlier session. Okay. Thank you, students.